Hello, this is Senator L. Louise Lucas. I feel profound gratitude for the opportunity to serve in the Virginia General Assembly.
And then that's where Brian steps in. He gives me all kinds of great information and makes me look good, and it makes our local city committee. So if you haven't talked to Brian, Brian's going to talk about what he does today, but please make sure that you are working with him. Your committee from time to time is going to have a grievance. Hopefully not. You'll be blessed if you don't. And if you do have a grievance, what you need to do is try to solve it at your level. Some of you know, Diane's shaking her head, she knows what I'm talking about. Try to solve your grievances at the local level. Bring your city committee in, sit down and talk to the person who has a grievance. They didn't like that you looked at them cross-eyed, or whatever happened, they may have been a problem. Try to solve it. The next step, according to the party plan, is any grievance has to be sent to the congressional district. And the congressional district then has to have a hearing, and we then bring all folks, depending upon, we had a hearing one time in which we had, I believe, 2 congressional districts at one time that crossed. And Linda Brooks, we all came on the phone, we talked to the complainant, and we got it resolved to our point. And then at that point, that person then has a right to be able to go to the state. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. We had awesome training this morning. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Give yourselves a hand. I want all those persons who are elected officials to join me first, because after we get down, then the ministers are going to come up. So let's get us elected officials out of the way first. My colleague in the Senate, my partner, Senator Mamie Locke from Hampton. We got Delegate Matthew James. Thought that they would elect me as the outreach chair for the Virginia Democratic Party for a second time. I had the same position 20 years ago when I had black hair. But don't let the gray hair fool you, because I still got the energy. Okay, this is a new initiative for the Virginia Democratic Party. It's the Inclusive Communities Outreach Program, ICOP. You got an iPhone, you got an iPad, you got an eye this, you got an eye that. We got ICOP. ICOP is going to be the umbrella for the Democratic Party of Virginia for all of the ethnic groups. We're going to have the Hispanics, the Asians, the Chinese. We got some folks from the Arab community. And we're going to take this program, just like we had this morning, all across the Commonwealth of Virginia so that these groups can feel some love. We want them to know that we welcome them, we need them, and that we cannot do this anymore without them. We want all of our partners under the big tent. Yes. That's why we have ICOP. Yes. Now, I'm going to introduce some people from the state. So, at this time, I want to bring up the Reverend Dr. Derek Hawkins from the Democratic National Committee. He has a message for you, and when he gets done, you all will know who he is. Dr. Hawkins.
Thank you so much. Let's show some love to the senator. We thank God for her. Oh, what a hard-working woman. She's working right now. We just are so glad to be. Are you fired up? And I'm ready to go as well. I'm so glad you all are out here. We're going to beat the rain, but it's so important for you to be out here this afternoon. I'm just so glad to be able to spend a little bit of time with you down here in the most beautiful part of the state of Virginia. All right, all right, all right. But I want to thank my colleagues in ministry, the clergy who I met with a little while ago. I deeply appreciate the time we spent together. It was valuable and important. And you know what? It drives home the point that this is serious business. We are not here just to talk and just to go through the motions. This is real. The stakes are real. If you all know that this is an important election, if you know that this election is going to be not only an election that makes history, but an election that establishes that history has been made, somebody ought to get out here and work hard. You know what we did? You know what we did in 2008? In 2008, we changed the guard. And you know what we got to do in 2012? We got to guard the change. Listen, I'm done. I've been fortunate to be in the presence of the president on a number of occasions. And there's usually never an instance when there's anybody who is smarter that's in the room. But the thing that strikes me about our president is the level of humility that he brings. And I've never had this particular conversation with him, but I've figured out that, you know, every morning he gets a briefing on the national security situation. And he gets a briefing on the economic situation. And he has experts of the highest caliber who come and tell him everything, no doubt, that he needs to know for the execution of his responsibilities and duties that day. And I know that our president, the 44th president of the United States, Barack Obama, takes all of that information in and makes the fullest and most important use of it. But you know what I think he does beyond that? I think he does this, and hopefully the congressman would be able to echo this sentiment. I think that indeed, see, I'm learning how to do that well, aren't I? But I think that the president is able to have all of those reports in front of him, all of those briefings in front of him. But I think when it's all said and done, you know what? I just have this sneaking suspicion that something comes to his mind. It may sound a little like this: trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not to thine own understanding. In all thy ways, no matter what the right wing is saying about you, in all thy ways, no matter how folk are trying to tear you down, in all thy ways, no matter how folk are dead set to see you fail, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Thank you. Fired up, ready to go.
Congressman Bobby Scott needs no introduction. He is by far the best member of the U.S. Congress.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank Reverend Hawkins. I was trying to sneak in. I mean, you certainly did. I certainly appreciate you coming to town and get us fired up. We're ready. We're ready. But, you know, every now and then, we need somebody from outside to remind us how important Virginia is. We know that if we carry Virginia, it's over. If we lose Virginia, it's hard, possible but hard. Because if you just look at the arithmetic, so many states are well in one corner and well in another corner, and just a few left. If we win Virginia, there's very little left on the table for the Republicans to get to 270. And if we don't get it, we're scrambling to try to find 270. They said this 4 years ago, when Virginia will win, and some of you heard me say that at 10:58 p.m. on election night, they announced that Barack Obama had carried the Commonwealth of Virginia. And 2 minutes later, they said he'd been elected president-elect of the United States of America.
Now with that, we're going to go back to Brother Nash, because he is here to make sure that everybody knows what the theme song is. I got it, you got it, we got the magic touch. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you for the next rally.